They came in the middle of the night. At 1 a.m. on Tuesday, New York police surrounded Zuccotti Park and ordered the protesters to leave.
And then all of a sudden they all showed up and they all had their spotlights out, handing out flyers saying that everybody must immediately vacate the park or you will be subject to arrest.
Most demonstrators cooperated and left quietly. Others didn't. The barricades went up quickly within a 4-block radius of the park, forcing people onto the sidewalks and keeping them there. Hundreds of police lined the streets, some in riot gear, shutting down the area. Then the clean-up crews moved in. Police dismantled dozens of tents and tarpaulins. They removed tables, chairs, as well as a library, kitchen and medical centre. It was all torn apart, some of it bulldozed and then taken away by garbage trucks.
But inaction was not an option. We could not wait for someone in the park to get killed or to injure another first responder before acting. Others have cautioned against action because enforcing our laws might be used by some protesters as a pretext for violence. But we must never be afraid to insist on compliance with our laws. Unfortunately, the park was becoming a place where people came not to protest, but rather to break laws.
By the time the sun came up, Zuccotti Park was spotless, practically gleaming. It was as though the protesters had never been there. People who have been complaining about the noise and the mess have their park back, for now. This is a huge test for the Occupy Wall Street movement. For almost 2 months, the protesters here at Zuccotti Park have held their ground, only to be finally pushed out by that late-night raid. The question everyone is asking is what next?
We were expecting them to come in and raid. We were expecting this to happen, and we are not afraid. We are going to be back, whether it be here or at another park.
I think it's the imposition of wealth over the 99%, and the gentleman across the street wanted to have a clean and sanitized park.
Yeah.
And I think, as we've seen with many efforts to oppress the movement, I think the rebound will make it stronger.
The Occupy movement was born on Wall Street's doorstep, drawing attention to corporate greed and the growing gap between the rich and the poor. The protesters are now considering their next move and are united on their refusal to back down. Kath Turner, Al Jazeera, New York.
Well, just to bring you the latest that we're hearing from Zuccotti Park in New York, it seems the roles have been somewhat reversed, though. We've got around 150 police in and around the park, but they appear to be surrounded by protesters at the moment. So watching events there closely, and we will keep you up to date with all the latest.